So the music is very spiritual and religious, should I say?
I mean, I really don't want to put it into that, you know, religious music because, I mean, it is, but just in certain, I just try to separate the religion from the music, you know? It is a music, it is a trance, it is a healing, and, you know, it is a music.
So can you tell us about the ceremonies where the music is played?
Do you want to ask something?
Sure. Usually the ceremony, which we call it Lila, means the night because it takes time like almost the whole night. And the Gnawa play the music, and actually like each part of the music presents a color. It starts with the white, then the green, then the blue, then the yellow, then the blue, then the black, then the blue, then the red. Then all the way to the yellow, which come by the time in the morning, which present like the sunrise. So and during the ceremony, play music, people dance and try to get in trance. They believe that like when you get to the trance, some kind of good spirit, you know, come and clean you up. So during the ceremony, the main thing is the music, like I said, and the dance. Then also there is the food, and there is a lot of ritual that actually goes through the ceremony.
It sounds a little bit like candomblé, the Brazil.
Well, it is like I said earlier. You know, like the North African music and the Santeria music, or like some of the Latin music right now, because it came from the same origin, like from the West African countries, Sub-Saharan countries. So that we find like a lot of similarity between Santeria, between like a lot of kind of Caribbean, some kind of Latin American music, and North African and African music in general, actually. Yeah.
So how did the band come together?
I mean,
this guy moved to America. He won the green card lottery, and he's his burning fire for Gnawa. When he moved to New York, he knew he wanted to do something great, and so he found like-minded musicians, and then eventually found in Brooklyn, Master Malam Hassan Ben Jafar was there, and we were so fortunate to have him. So under his tutelage, we got to learn the repertoire and expand and really dig deep.
So some of the members of the band are not traditional or not Gnawan?
I mean, including me. I'm not Gnawi. You know, I wasn't born. None of us. I mean, Abdurrahim, he played with some. He's been in the playing Gnawa like since he was a kid. But for me, no. Ahmed, David, none of us except Ma'allim Hassan. His dad was a great Ma'allim in Morocco. So that's how he learned from his dad, because it's a lifetime learning. You're not gonna be, oh, I'm gonna go to school and study Gnawa for 5 years and then become a master. No, even if you play good, you're not qualified to be a master. It's a lifetime. You have to keep learning. It's like a doctor. When you do a surgery, you have to know everything. If something goes wrong, you have to know how to fix it. It's the same thing in the music. When you play a ceremony, you have to know how to control everything, because people are getting in trance. There's colors, there's incense, there is so many things that you have to know.
So how did you discover the music? How did each of you discover the music?
I mean, we're like, we grew up in Morocco, which where like Gnawa music is some kind of popular music, and we love it. Some of us used to play like other kind of music, but also love Gnawa music. Then each one of us actually have like his own story, you know, how he get to Gnawa music. The difference between the Gnawi were like, they grew up in a Gnawa family with like the master Hassan. His father was a master. His brothers also like are masters too. So for us, we didn't grow up. We grew up just like a regular family, but we love this kind of music. Then we try to learn it and try to play it. Then we had a great opportunity with the Master Hassan and Jafar to play it. And yeah, so happy with that.
Yeah, we're learning every day. We're learning on the bandstand. We'll learn tonight. We'll learn tomorrow. We just keep growing and growing and growing. You know, maybe we'll never be masters, but we're just here to learn.
And for David, he's not 100% Moroccan. His mom is Moroccan, but we gave him the other half, so now he's 100% Moroccan.
True.
For me, I'm so lucky because just 1 year here in America. Me before coming here in America, I'm still in Morocco. Then watch Malam play with Samir with his group. Then watch there, and watch YouTube, and watch the Facebook, then watch them play. Say one day, if I'm lucky, I meet these guys, play with them. Then me, I'm just here in North Carolina. My brother Samir, he called me, told me, look, do you have show here close to you? We need you to come play with us. Then I'm so lucky to play with Malam Hassan, with Samir, with David, Ahmed.
Yeah, he lives in North Carolina, so hey, might as well have him join us. So.
And for me, I used to live in North Carolina for 3 years. I lived here before, so this is the first place I stayed at when I first came to America. I lived in Raleigh. I lived there for 3 years. So it's good to be back. It's like, this is what I call home.
Welcome back. That's awesome. So there are 3 instruments that you play. There are drums and then castanets, which are actually metal, right? And then the most important, right, is the sinti. So, which is made of wood from a tree, a fig tree, is it? And then the guts of, I forget which animal. Goats. And it's 2.5 strings, right? 2.5 strings. So, can I hear about how you came, your family, your father played the instrument and then you learned, and so it is traditional that way, it's carried from generation down?
Yes, I'm coming first time and come to New York City. I love New York City. I have big show in Bryant Park in Manhattan. I have a big band in Morocco, just come in New York to play. I have a 3 show in New York and Tennessee and somewhere I don't know. And I love New York. Hang out with a lot of musicians in New York. We have his friend from American Brooklyn, Mr. Randy Wilson, to play music, jazz music, to hang out with him. Yeah, he's coming, Ahmed. He's coming, David, and to see Samir Langus. You hang out together. You make some professional music, Gnawa. You play everywhere. He's a good guy. You love people. You love the music. There's a lot of years of music in Morocco. Thank you.
So, just one quick question. Was it, because he's a master, was it intimidating for you to approach him and say, hey, you want to play with us?
I mean, for him, he used to play, and he was playing. By the time I came, I was playing. It was Ahmed and Aminu and Saeed, 3 other members that are not with us here. So they were already playing together. So I'm the one that came and like, yo, let's do something. Let's make something big, okay? So, and I just want to take it to the next level. We have the great Malam, we're playing great music, so why not? The audience, the people out there need to hear this music. So that was my vision, just to take it to the next level.
And definitely it's an honor to play with Master Hassan.
Oh yeah.
It's for all of us actually.
It's just a matter of us getting close to that level where the master is, so it's just a matter of us training properly and getting there. We're slowly getting there, day by day, year by year, so we're getting it together.
Cool. So before we go to questions, I need to remind everyone when the band will be playing. So Innov Gnawa will be playing later this evening at 9 p.m. at the Lawn Stage And then tomorrow at 3:45 p.m. also at Lawn Stage. So do we have any questions from the audience?
Don't be shy. You can ask anything.
She has a question. She wants to know if women ever perform with her.
Yes. Yes. Women have a really important part of the Lila ceremony. One of the, we play through 7 colors, and 1 color is designated just for the women. So yeah, there are female Gnawis for sure.
She wants to know what color.
Yellow.
The sunrise, it's actually present the sunrise and also like present that women give the life. So yeah, it's usually like the last thing. We play that color by the morning, and just sun just rising, and it's all like women, and it's fun, and it's dancing, which I think it's present everything about women that give life and that they are so fun.
Yeah, and in the ceremony, there's the master giving it, but there's also a master of ceremonies, and that's usually a woman.
So I have a question. So these ceremonies go all night? My question is that these ceremonies go all night. So do you usually have maybe like a substitute or someone who can fill in so that people can take a break, or how do you continue to play all night?
I mean, back in the days, in Hassan's generation, first of all, there was no bass amp. So you don't use a bass amp for the instrument. So you have to play really hard so people can hear it, and you hurt your fingers. Sometimes your hands can start bleeding while you play. And the castanet people, they have to stay with you in order for them to learn. As what Mu'allim said, is like always saying what he tells us: listen to learn, learn to listen. This is his favorite word. So I always put that in my mind. I'm like, listen to learn, learn to listen. Yeah. So, and the ceremony usually, it's a 1 week. It's like a festival. It's like a mini festival. It's like a whole week. But nowadays, they do it they start from 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. Sometimes 4 p.m. until 8 a.m. It depends. But it's 12 hours, 24. It depends.
Yeah, but they take like a couple breaks between the colors, yeah.
And some masters, they don't play the whole colors. They just play some of them. They skip the colors, and they skip some songs, because if you're gonna play all the songs, the south is different than the north. So in the Gnawis, there is the Shamali, there is Marsawi, there is Shlahawi. So if you're gonna play all these types of songs in one night, it's not enough. So that's why they have a whole week of, they start with the dance, they start with the drums, and then they go to the non-color songs, and then they get into the color songs. It's so many. That's why it's huge.
So yeah, when you see us play, we're just picking just little pieces, or we're playing songs not even part of the ceremony. They're secular songs.
So if you have not heard or seen them perform, the singing is very similar. It's like call and response. So I hope that you get a chance to hear them, see them play. So my question is, what are the songs generally about?
Okay, so about like different subjects. A big part, it's about missing home. That, I mean, because we're talking about like soldiers that they get hired from Morocco, and we're talking about people that they came as a slave to North Africa. So a lot of songs that like missing home, missing their family, missing their land. Then after music stay in Morocco for for 100 years, it get like some Sufi influence and also some Jewish influence. So that you can see that in some songs. So yeah, then all the subjects, really.
Yeah, and a lot of them are honoring saints or talking about, you know, certain spirits or what have you.
Are there any other questions from the audience? I don't want to hog all the questions.
I know that there's a Jewish repertoire for, would you speak on that, please?
Sure, yeah. So my family is Jewish, and there was, in 1492, Spanish Inquisition, there was a giant exile from Spain to Morocco. So for hundreds of years, Jews and Arabs and everyone integrated, and they were part of the culture. So there was, in the Jewish religion, there's something called the Sabbath, Shabbat, and they would have Gnawis come and perform the music. So there was Gnawa repertoire just for Jews to celebrate the Sabbath, and and we're super fortunate because our master knows that repertoire. It's very, very rare that a master knows that. So we've just started doing the Jewish repertoire. We've done it once. We're going to do it again in Baltimore, and we're really open to do it a lot more. It's been really exciting for me to relearn my heritage through those songs.
Are there any other questions from the audience? I do have one because your name comes from innovation, and then I read that you're incorporating some contemporary influences into your band and sounds Latin and African, and so if you could talk about that.
We've been fortunate enough to collaborate with different musicians. We did a tour with electronic artist Bonobo, and we got to play at Coachella and Red Rocks, and we played with different Latin musicians. Samir is working on doing different fusion projects where you incorporate electric bass and drums, and so we're open to all of that. You know, the traditional repertoire is really important to us. We're also looking to expand when we can, but of course honoring and knowing the tradition.
And the name Innov is like innovation, not in the music. Like we're not focusing on innovating the music as much as we are focusing on innovating the way we present the music, the way we take it to that next level. That's the most important things for us, is the way how we present it to the audience, the way how we take it to that next level. That's the most important. That's what I mean by innovation. So it's like Innov.
Are there any more questions from the audience?
What language will you guys be singing the song in?
It's a lot of languages. Some are, ancient Berber languages, some Arabic, some somewhat Sudanese. It just depends on the song. So it varies on the song and the region.
And some of the lyrics are from the Bambrawi language. So we use Bambrawi language, the Berber language, the Moroccan dialect, the Moroccan...
But in general, mostly like African language or African dialects.
جينا فرحانين وبغينا نخلي واد الناس نسافر معاه ان شاء الله حتى هما فرحانين، وبغينا ان شاء الله يبعد علينا هاد المشاكل الجايه ديال الهريكين ولا الرياح العاصف، والله يخلي كل شيء ناشط وبخير وساعتكم مبروكه وتحياتي ونتمناو next time ان شاء الله.
So what Malim just said is, he was asking God, to help the people in Florida for what's coming, and is asking God to keep us all together and push the hurricane away from us and from everyone.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions from the audience? So just to remind you again, they will be playing at 9 p.m. tonight at Lawn Stage, and again tomorrow at 3:45, again at Lawn Stage. Thank you, Innov Gnawa.
Good.